Hello, gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about one of the best routes in the entire game. And I really mean that because pretty much every pro player is using it, and you should too. So we're going to try to find ways to incorporate this into our offenses. Now I'm going to show you how they do it, and then you can kind of get creative with whatever offense you run to try to incorporate this route. Now, before I get into the breakdown, just want to give a quick heads up that we are rapidly approaching 20,000 subscribers. You guys are the absolute best. When we hit 20,000, I'm going to do something special for you guys. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe, get us to 20,000, and I will definitely post what I'm going to post. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So what we're going to do is talk about C routes. So you might have seen these before, but they're not just the standard C routes. I'm going to come out in Corner Strike. And you're going to see that we have a C route over here on the left, right? Everybody knows what a C route looks like. It's just like an outside corner route, basically. That looks like a C, or like in this case, a backwards C. And if we run it like this, you're going to see that they're very hit or miss. Like sometimes you're going to get separation, sometimes you're not. And that's not exactly something you want in regards to man beating routes, because you know, on one play, he can just be wide open, and on the next, you think it's going to be just as open, but it's bagged, and then you throw a pick. So that's kind of like the nature of how this game has played so far, is that man-beating routes have kind of sucked. Now, what people have found is that the outside apprentice C route is actually pretty consistent versus man. So go ahead and look at our C route right now, and then what I'm going to do is put him on a hot routed corner. So when your wide receiver's outside and he has additional routes. So I have Brady, so he has hot route master, so I can put him on this corner route. You're going to see that it changes. It's a much different looking C route. And this is the one that you want. And, you know, if you don't have outside apprentice or hot route master, yeah, it kind of sucks. But if you play MUT, you really want to get your hands on this route. So Larry Fitzgerald, for instance, is a really good card because he has outside apprentice for 1 AP. And you're going to see the difference is pretty insane. I mean, look how good that was versus off coverage. I know it's Mike Evans. I know this is some crappy Falcons cornerback. Sorry if you're a Falcons fan. You guys kind of blew that lead yesterday, which was unfortunate. But yeah, so you see how he comes inside. The cornerback just kind of gets dumbed out for a second, and then he's playing catch up for the rest of the snap. Well, that's pretty consistent. So let's do it again. I put him on his route. I'll block the running back. Let's see what happens this time. And again, it happens again versus off coverage. Now, there's so many different ways to play man coverage. Like you could play off coverage, no shade. You could do off coverage, shade outside or shade inside or shade underneath, God forbid. There's so many different ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you what it looks like, what this C route looks like versus the different shades. So that was off coverage, no shade. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shade outside. See how the cornerback moves a little bit. What you're going to see, he plays it a little bit better. It's a little bit scarier. You might have to highball it if it's like a tall cornerback like Woolen or something. Let's do it again. So that was shade outside. I'm going to do shade outside again. And just bear with me. I'm just trying to show you how good this route is. It's like insane. It's one of the probably the most consistent in the entire game versus man coverage. And it's for a big gain to the point where, like, if you use gun bunch and you're not using this route, you're just not using bunch correctly. Because having this guy playing or using bunch without having outside apprentice is really hard right now, in my opinion. And this is going to open up your offense a ton because they can't just play man-to-man on that side. So right there, that was off coverage outside. This is going to be inside. Then I'm going to go to press. So again, just bear with me. I'm trying to show you guys all the different use cases here. So right here, that was a shade inside. You see he wins again. And I know Mike Evans is lit up right now. That doesn't matter. Trust me. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to press. I'm going to actually pinch my entire defense. I'm not going to shade. Going to run it again. What you're going to see, I just highball it. And pretty simple. That was no shade. Let's go ahead and shade outside. And I believe this is going to be the one that plays him the best. I was wrong. That was the one that plays him the worst. And yeah, that wasn't even close. I think it might be shade over the top. Let me see. I'm going to shade over the top here. So press and shade over the top. So this time he's not going to get pressed. And then he should play him pretty decently. No, he still gets toasted. Still gets toasted pretty badly. So he's won like pretty much every single one. There's been one that's been close. And that was just like the standard press. So I'm going to do it again. This is just a standard press, no shade. And here we go. That's just the power of nickel over. Sometimes, you know, your 4-man rush just comes in clean if you don't block your running back. Nickel over really do be like that. So right here, again, you know, high ball at really nice animation. But yeah, like you guys see how good this route is. Like it's beating like all forms of man, all shadings, and it's consistent. Now, like I said, it's Mike Evans versus some bum cornerback. So, you know, in MUT, it's going to be more difficult because it's going to be more evenly matched. But at the same time, like it is the route. Like the route is what's getting open, not the receiver. So what can you do with this? So let me show you a few different things. So for instance, let's say you don't know it's man coverage. Well, what can you do to make it a zone beating concept as well? So I'm going to come out of verticals, and then we'll just do random play, right? So this is something that I saw Henry use in the Madden Bowl, or not the Madden Bowl, sorry, the MCS kickoff that he won. Congrats to him. I'll go ahead and just copy his route combo and show you guys. So he was actually running a lot of short side bunch, and then he would use maybe a route concept like this. Block his running back, deep out route the tight end, streak your slot receiver, and then motion him over. And what this is going to do, and snap right before he sets. And what this is going to do, it's going to put a lot of stress on this outside cornerback. I know that looks super close, and if they click on, that could potentially be a pick. And the reason he sets it up like this is because it's going to be like one of the two. It's usually going to be the streak, or it's going to be the C route. And the C route, the streak will occupy a third. It will occupy a deep half from a cover 2. And then you have on the right side of the field, you have like a really good concept where the wheel is going to be open a lot. And then if the wheel doesn't get open, this deep out route is definitely going to get open. Because like this guy, he takes the flats to the sideline. He takes the deep zone to the sideline. And then this guy fits really nicely in between. So that's like a really good concept that you can use if, for instance, if you don't know if it's like zone or man, that is definitely something you can go to. Then when you motion over, you get kind of a tell, right? So right there, I definitely didn't read that right. And bear with me, I'm not a bunch user. I'm just copying the routes that I saw. I think I had my wheel on the right. Yeah, the wheel on the right's open. But yeah, the C route is the main takeaway from this video. I'm not trying to get into like a bunch of different route combinations with, you know, how to use gun bunch and all the different things you can do. The point is, if you're not using the C route, you need to be using it. You need to find a way to get your hands on an outside apprentice. If you're struggling versus man, it's going to solve a lot of your problems. So if you use my gun box, you know, it's a very similar formation to gun bunch. So yeah, I mean, use your outside apprentice on your ISO receiver. It's going to open things up a ton. So that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please drop a like if you did. Like I said, we're getting super close to 20,000 subscribers. So please consider subscribing. And then as always, if you need additional help, acemadden.com, use code ACE for 15% off at checkout. You will gain access to all of our ebooks and videos. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.